Welcome back. So this is second part of our tutorial series, dynamic multi-level CSS drop-down menu. Okay, and I have created a table here by name drop-down, and it got three fields: ID, menu, and parent ID. And if we have parent ID 0, it means they are all first level of our drop-down menu. Okay, and you can see here 1. This 1 means it got parent ID 1. It means this one or all the states, Texas, Washington, Montana, they all come under the first row with ID 1, which is under United States. Okay, and if you see here these numbers, bigger numbers, 11, so it got a parent ID 11, right, which means it comes under this row, Karnataka, and this comes under India here, parent ID 2, right? So this is third level, right? So this is how this table is going to function for our multi-level drop-down menu. Okay, and I have a basic structure here. HTML is nothing much, and I'm really tired of writing this database connection code again and again in my tutorial. So I pre-wrote some code here. It's nothing. We have three constants for our database connection and a try catch, and this is where actual database connection happens, right? And then we have an empty try catch here. So we are going to write our SQL query here. It's going to be select star from drop down, right? And then we are going to execute our SQL query. Okay, it's going to be result equal to db query. Okay, and we have our query here in SQL. Now I'm going to take a row count. Okay, equal to result row count, should be row count. Okay, and if we have any rows returned from database, we are going to fetch all the data. Okay, and we want to fetch everything as an associative array. Okay, so I'm going to do result fetch all. Inside that it's going to be PDO fetch underscore associative. Okay, so this should work, and we should have the result here in this variable rows. Okay, so we could print that using printar because it is an array, right? The result is in array. So let's try this now. Okay, we have our data written from database as an associative array. And guys, if you are really confused with this array, let me show you a sample of what it might look. Okay, here you can see here it's just an array. Every row is an array inside the parent array. Okay, this is how this structure is going to be here. Okay, now that we have all the data here, we need to process this array further for our multi-level CSS drop down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is transfer this to another variable called items. Okay, and then we are going to loop through this to get all our data. So first thing we're going to do is create a variable ID. Okay, and it got no data there. Then I'm going to have a for each loop. And here we are going to call this items. Remember, every data is in this array here, right, as items. So items as item, and under that we are going to use a condition. Okay, if item of parent ID. Okay, so parent ID is a field in database, remember. So if that is equal to 0, then we are going to just echo the item menu name. Okay, so it's going to be echo item menu. So let's try this now. Okay, we have all top level menu, right? United States, India, Russia and Britain. So they are, because they all have parent ID of 0. Now we had to go for the second level. Okay, and for that this ID variable equal to, I'm going to assign the ID of that particular menu. Okay, top level menu, and then we are going to call a function with passing the entire data array and this new found ID. Okay, so let's create this function. For now it's going to be function. So this sub is nothing, it's a short form for sub menu. Okay, and here we are going to once again loop through this whole process. Okay, so I'm going to copy this part, and inside that we are going to have a if condition. So I'll copy this, but instead of parent ID 0 we are going to pass the ID itself. Okay, so we received that particular parent ID here as argument, right? So we are passing that to make sure the parent ID of a particular menu, sub menu, has the ID here. Okay, and then we are going to echo the item name. Okay, that's menu name. It's going to be menu, right? So this should get as the first level or level of sub menu, right? Okay, under United States we have Texas, Montana, Washington, and under India we have all these stubs here, and under Russia we have Moscow. Okay, so far it's working fine, but we need to keep looping this again and again to get all the sub menus, right? Different levels, and that is simple. We'll just call this function inside that again. Okay, but there is a catch here. This time the ID we are going to use is the sub menu item, right? That second level, so that's going to be item of ID. Okay, so what happens here is the first step we are printing all the menus with parent ID 0, that is the top level menu. Then we are using the parent ID here to get the second level of sub menu, right? And to get further levels we are going to use that sub menus ID. Okay, we're just going to call that. So let's see whether we are getting this now. Okay, so under United States we have all the states here. Under India we have all states, and then we have cities for those states. Okay, so we got everything perfect now. All we had to do is make an unordered list. Okay, we just had to add the unordered list for further styling. So let's do that now. First thing I'm going to do is create a unordered list here in the top. Okay, so this is our unordered list before the for loop, and I'm going to place that here after the for loop as well. That is for closing our unordered list. Okay, then right here we are going to have list item. Okay, and after that we can even have href, right? So this is going to be just, can I use some hash right here? Okay, and we are going to close that here. Okay, and then this list item has to be closed, right, which we'll do after this. Should be /li, okay, and we can follow the similar one right here, but before that we had to once again give unordered list in the before the for loop, okay. So it's going to be ul, and then once the for loop is over here we have to close that, okay. And then yeah, we can copy all the stuffs here. And once again this particular part paste here. So, and another thing is I'm going to remove the style sheet from here, okay, for now, because I want to see how the whole structure looks. Alright guys, you can see here this is first level, and under India we have first, second and even third level. You can go any level you want, right? So now I'll replace with this style sheet here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, something wrong here. Okay, my bad. Guys, we have the style.css here, right? And if you take a look at the style file, we have this class name multi-drop, okay. So we had to add this class here in the start, okay. So this class is going to be multi-drop, okay. You don't want this style to get applied to every unordered list in your page, right? Only for drop down. So we need to have a class, okay, for ID. So alright, we got what we need, and this style.css file is capable of displaying any number of drop down as we want, and it is a very short code. I'll publish in my website, and you will have a link in the description of this video where you can copy with the code from there, okay. So don't worry about that. And so let's have a recap of what we did so far. We have a database here with lots of menu, and we have parent ID, right? So if a menu got a parent ID, it means it is a sub menu to some menu here. So if we have two here, it comes under India, right? So if we have one here, it all comes under United States. That's how it works. So you can have any number of levels as you want, and we have established a database connection here. And after that we performed a simple query here, and we got the entire data as associative row, right? And then right here we are just looping for parent ID 0, and then we are using the same loop again, but this time instead of using the 0 as parent ID, we are going to use the parent ID itself, okay. And then we are going to call the function within the function again, but this time we are going to use the sub menu item, okay, ID of the sub menu. So you can have any level with this code, and once the page loads you already have all the data in your drop down, and this CSS will do everything you need for all level of drop down. If you want to change the color, background, anything text, you can do here, right? You can edit here. So this is the most efficient way I figured for having a multi-level dynamic CSS drop down menu. And I hope you guys liked our videos, and guys, please support us by subscribing to our channel and also by liking this video. I'll see you guys again with even more exciting tutorials in the future, okay. Thanks for your time.